Every construction project breaks the law before it even starts, and most project owners have no idea they're doing it. If you think the National Construction Code is just for designers and certifiers, you're setting your project up for major risk and possibly legal trouble. All right, here's the thing. The NCC isn't technically a law, but if you ignore it, you could still be breaking one. And for project owners, client-side PMs, consultants, this is one of those things you need to have a handle on. So in this video, we're breaking down what the NCC actually is, why it matters for capital projects, and what you need to know. Let's keep it simple. The National Construction Code, or NCC, is basically a set of minimum requirements for the safety, health, amenity, accessibility, energy efficiency, and sustainability of buildings. Think of it as the rule book that every building project has to follow. Now, here's the important bit. The NCC is performance-based. That means it doesn't just tell you how to build something, it tells you what outcome it has to achieve. And it's enforced by law. Each state and territory has legislation that makes complying with the NCC mandatory. So even though it's not technically law, failing to meet it is a legal breach. The NCC is split into 3 volumes. Volume 1 covers Class 2 to Class 9 buildings. That's everything from apartments to shopping centres to your office buildings. If you're commissioning commercial or residential projects, this is your Bible. Volume 2 handles Class 1 and Class 10 buildings, basically houses and sheds. Most of you won't deal with this unless you're in residential development. And Volume 3 is all about plumbing and drainage. If you own or you're managing a commercial, infrastructure or government building, you'll be dealing with Volume 1 almost every time. So what does the NCC actually cover? First up, structure. That means stuff like how your building handles wind, whether the footings are right, and even how it deals with earthquakes. Yep, even in Australia, that's a thing. Then there's fire safety. We're talking about how long the walls can hold up in fire, how people get out safely, and whether the building's got the right fire separation between spaces. You've also got accessibility, so ramps, handrails, circulation spaces, even the size of bathrooms. All that's in there to make sure the building works for everyone. Health is another big one that includes things like fresh air, ventilation, natural light, and even stuff like whether the toilets and wash basins are set up properly. And there's energy efficiency. That's your insulation, glazing, how the building holds heat or stays cool, what kind of HVAC systems you're using. Sustainability is also in there. So that means how much energy the building uses over time, what its emissions look like, and how efficient it is across the board. And finally, plumbing and drainage, which sounds boring, but it's everything from water supply to stormwater runoff and sewage. And it all has to meet performance standards too. So yeah, it's not just one small thing. It's pretty much everything that makes a building safe, functional, and usable for the people in it. Now, there are 2 ways to comply with the NCC. First is the standard path, or to do exactly what the book says. It's deemed to satisfy path. Follow the recipe step by step. Use this material, make it this thick, put it here. Easy to understand, easy to check, easy to approve. The other is performance-based, which means you're doing something different. You're not following the default path, but you're proving that your solution achieves the same outcome. This can be great for design flexibility, but it comes with a catch. You need modeling, evidence, expert reports, and you'll usually need to bring in a certifier or engineer to sign off. So here's the key thing. If your project team wants to go down the performance path, you need to know that early, because trying to backtrack that into the design later, that's a nightmare. Now, you might ask, but I'm not the builder. Why should I care? Technically, sure. But even if you're not the one designing the building or signing off on code compliance, you're still responsible for what gets built. You're the one signing off the funding, you're approving the contracts, you're managing delivery, and if something goes wrong, the risk lands with you. So if someone in the design phase misses a key NCC requirement and that slips through to construction, that's on your project timeline and your bottom line. And we've seen it happen. A building gets completed only to find out it doesn't meet fire egress or accessibility standards. And guess what? It can't be certified for occupation. So here's what you need to stay across. You've got to know what NCC volume applies to your project. And you need to know if your team is following a standard path deemed to satisfy or going down a performance solution. You've got to build NCC compliance into your program as actual milestones, not just assumptions. And you need to make sure your consultants, your builders, and your certifier all know their roles when it comes to compliance. Also, check that the key documents are actually getting done. Things like fire engineering reports, accessibility sign-offs, That stuff can't wait till the end. You don't have to read the whole NCC, but you do need a system that keeps compliance visible and traceable throughout the job. Look, the NCC isn't going anywhere. It's part of every construction project in Australia. The question is whether you're going to understand it or get surprised by it. The smart project owners don't just leave this to their consultants. They learn enough to ask the right questions and spot problems before they become expensive disasters.